handles are just about as wide as this saw blade, and it's actually touching the back of this blade a little too, so it's pushing itself in a little bit. Don't worry about it, just get it started. There it is. Move it up and down a little. There's a second one done. Now granted, I've done a bunch of these, and so I'm putting a pretty good amount of pressure on this saw and making it cut quickly. If you feel uncomfortable, slow it down, go nice and easy, and it won't go as fast. Now, what I've done is 3 of these slots are done. What I'd like to do is cut the film right now and see if we can get a close-up of these 3 little slots that I've cut already. Now what you'll notice is these 3 little slots right here, without me really taking too much time, well, you saw how long it took, we have some pretty even little slots here. They're about 1/16 of an inch deep, and they're all evenly spaced. And some of you guys like to ramp them. Some guys like to take out the little files that Jeff sent. Thank you very much, Jeff. Some of these files can be used to really clean up the slots in and out. There's a bunch of different ones. You can just get as fancy as you want to with this. Now, the beauty of this system is that now with the 3 larger strings, we won't be using the small blade that we used on these. We'll be using the much larger, wider blade, okay, that is approximately the same width as your lower 3 strings. That's the beauty of this tool, is that you don't have to put in a thin blade and then try to rock back and forth. You can simply cut, just like I cut the small slots, you can cut with this big saw, and it cuts the perfect width for your 3 lower strings. Now, to get a good idea of what you've done inside the guitar, you simply take a flashlight and a little mirror, and I like to just take a peek inside my guitar and look and see if the slots that I cut are as big underneath as they are on top. That way I know I've gone in straight, and that way I know that the ball ends of my string has a nice little spot to hang on to. Now, using the thicker blade for the bottom 3, I'll give myself a same size slot. A string and then down to the E. Now, it may look to you like that went very quickly and you might want to take some time with it. Yes, I understand guys that have never done this before, they have a tendency to go a little slower. But once you get the hang of it, it's very easy to do. Now, you might want to start with the smaller top strings, because this smaller blade is easier to start and it's easier to handle at first. The bigger one takes off a little more material, of course, and therefore it's a little scarier for guys that have never done it before. Alright, now, once you've done that, once you've checked it, once you've seen that your slots are just as big underneath, they're about 1/16 of an inch back, they're all in a nice pretty straight line, you've reamed all your pins so that they all sit down perfect right where you want them to be, then it's time to simply restring up the guitar the way you always do. And then what I want you to notice, it's my theory, and I want some feedback on this, it's my theory that when the ball end was crushing this little pin, when it was creeping up of the pinhole every time you slam the guitar pretty hard, that was throwing your guitar out of tune. Okay? I think one of the biggest benefits of this particular operation, other than saving your bridge plate from getting trashed by the ball ends of the string, I think one of the biggest benefits that I've noticed is that my guitar stays in tune a lot better than it used to. Guys will talk about how it improves their sustain and improves their tone. I'm not going to fight you about that. I don't know, but I know for certain that this procedure keeps my guitar in tune much longer than it used to. Now, what I forgot to mention out in the shop is when you're restringing your guitar, what I like to do is I like to take the string and I like to take and put a bend in it. Can you see that bend? It doesn't have to be much, but just a little bit of a bend. And what that does is that now when you put it down the hole, it helps to hook onto the slot that you created inside of your guitar. Make sure that when you put the pin in, of course you put if you have slotted pins still, you haven't bought some unslotted pins, you can still use them for a while. Just turn them to the side and make sure that the slot is not up against the ball end. But the main thing is that once you think you've got your the string seated, just look in there with a mirror and make sure it's clipped onto the slot that you've created, and make sure that that the little round brass end of this thing is seated nice and firm in the slot that you made. And once you do that a couple of times, you'll notice that it's kind of automatic. You'll do it each time, and it's no big deal. The string will almost jump into that slot just automatically. So, that being said, I want to say that you guys at the Unofficial Martin Guitar Forum are fantastic. The beauty of this whole Bridgeslotomy program and the nickname of Roosters and this whole thing has been a great deal of fun for me, because they said we couldn't do it. They said it wasn't possible. They said, no, you can't loan tools out because, you know, guys don't care, and they lose them or they steal them, and they do. And you know, I didn't believe that. And you know what? We've got, I think we're on to like maybe 25 guys now that have slotted their own bridges. And there's another 10 or 15 that keep, you know, waiting, and the list gets longer all the time. You guys have restored my faith in mankind. Everybody wants to thank me and say, oh, you know, you're doing a great job, you know, thanks for making your tools. No, I want to thank you guys, because it's been a lot of fun for me. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of satisfaction knowing that we're doing something good for our guitars. We're saving the bridge plates from future damage. We're bonding with our guitars, and we're having a good time doing it. So, if you're contemplating doing a Bridgeslotomy on your own guitar, let me know. I'll put you on the list, and you too can be a rooster someday. Thank you.